Hello guys, what's up? It's Sunset Garden here and welcome back to another video. Today in this video, like I said in the previous one, we're going to be going over a bit of the story about some of the map changes. So yeah, so in the previous video at the last couple of minutes I talked about Willowed Woods. So to basically as a recap, basically the loopers that have now survived had remembered the good old times of when Western Woods was their little forest to go make campfires, picnics and so on. So in return, the loopers, the loopers, decided to construct their own little village, town or something in the forest, or in this new forest. So you see, there's the main building here. Well, actually no, this is the main building, and this is the secondary. And then this is that cool little watchtower. It's just a cool little village or whatever. But yeah. Now I can't say much about Tenant Towers because I can't tell if it was a POI that was in the game of good before. I'm pretty sure these buildings were, so but yeah, I don't know. Now, Late Lake has an interesting backstory. So you can clearly see that it's basically like a red forest. Now the reason why, by the way, the reason why all different colored trees are glitching out, they're not supposed to be this color, they're supposed to be red. It's because the sky that I placed, as you can see, is made everything a bit more cool looking, which I wanted. But it's kind of broken the trees, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, but Late Lake is of course a POI in season 6 that is surrounded by red trees. Now, the backstory behind this is that Late Lake is actually known for being a reference to Lazy Lake, which was a POI that was in the storyline in chapter 1, but it was simply just a normal location in chapter 2 and chapter 3. And so now in season 6, it's kind of brought itself back. Now, a cool thing about the story, so in the storyline of Good Night, in season 4 and season 5, chapter 3, Taylor and Finn, with their own POIs, wanted to save reality as well. So in season 4 and 5, they started helping the 6 construct special devices and that lot to basically help out. Now of course they did win, which is why season 6 has continued. But however, it comes with some casualties. See, the 6 completely survived because they knew this was going to kind of happen, so they managed to evacuate and then come back to the reality in seconds. Well, no, it's just simply because their home was already on this island before before season 6 arrived, so yeah, but places like TJ Town got completely destroyed. So, I'm not copying Fortnite by the way, but in my head, the event so of course I showed you the event and it was completely different to what I was saying. Basically, what the founder was saying in the season 5 event video was he was basically saying that the island was basically splitting into chunks and the reality point has to put them together. One of the chunks was TJ Town, and when it got pulled towards the island, it kind of bashed across a few of other chunks. So now it became a landmark in a TJ split. So it's completely destroyed, and I know it's might be a shocker, but TJ Town won't be refixed or added back not until 6.40. Basically not until the end, near the end of season 6 is when it'll get fixed. So basically we have to wait a long time, but yeah. However, so Tsunami Temple, so you might think that this would be Tsunami Temple if we go all the way here. This whole jungle biome in the bottom left hand side of the map of the island, surrounded by its own trees, with its own main temple here. However, its name was changed to Messy Jungle Top. Now the reason why is quite simple. It's not supposed to be Tsunami Temple, it's just supposed to be a simple temple in the jungle. However, the real Tsunami Temple, the Finn's POI, can actually be found as a landmark. So as you can see right here, basically right next to Tumble Row, you can find a landmark which you can only see on your mini-map on the top right, known as Rupture Temple. And basically, as you can see, Tsunami Temple barely survived as well. Because by simply just looking around the outside and the inside, you can see that a lot of the walls, roofs, floors and everything have started to decay. Vines started to grow, and lots of stuff were basically destroyed. Also, NPCs were added. I think I've already mentioned this before, but of course currently none of them, you can't talk to them. Now Tumble Row is actually a reference. It's like the only one that has this reference, even though Starry Country would have the same thing. And that's because it's a reference to when Goodnight had Chapter 2 Season 7, which is basically the flood season, and if you know, some POIs survived. So a reference to this was that Tumble Row from the Loopers. It's basically like a cool little town with technically 3 of its buildings sitting on the water. But yeah, but that's not the oh, I forgot now. But basically, so yeah, so a lot of the POIs here, all of them are pretty much new, but they have a few Easter eggs and references. So, oh yeah, now I remember. So, as you can see, one of the landmarks, it doesn't have its name right now, but it's called Villainous something, if I can remember. But yeah, basically, one of the main landmarks that everyone would be talking about in the storyline is this landmark here, which of course is obvious, but in case you haven't landed at it yet, well, I don't know why I'm saying that, but in case you didn't notice, it's next to Level Lake. Now, as you can see, this landmark is basically the remains of Xeno's airship. Xeno's of course a third, like, I think he's the third person from the last reality, I think. Yeah. He's basically, so Xeno's the third member of the last reality. They have that name because they truly want to be the only reality that could stand. So, Xeno was defeated, the 6, including Jonesy, who got saved at the last second, all worked together and they saved reality. Now the last reality is pretty much vanquished from extinction, or whatever, they're basically gone permanently now, and as you can see, the remains of Xeno's airship are left. Now let's just say, I will tell you a little hint, let's just say this landmark will slowly turn into a POI. Basically the 6 want to basically make this island more secure than last time, because every time the island changes, they don't realize, and the island, basically the 6 always wonder why the island is constantly being attacked. And one of their theories or main reasons is simply because it's not being protected enough. So the 6 throughout, well, season 6, will be trying to turn a few POIs, or well, not POIs, maybe a few landmarks or something like that, but basically change up parts of the island into like bases or like little protection chambers, so that anything that arrives to try and destroy the island won't have it easy and will be taken down. So let's just say the 6 might use Xeno's destroyed airship, as you can see here, the remains of it, to turn it into like a little base, and maybe the 6 will probably turn it into their own blimp as backup. But that's only the start of what's planning to happen in season 6 and possibly into season 7. But that's like weeks on end. That's like into February is when season 7 will start. So maybe there'll be something. Maybe we'll have to find out what happens. But that's basically. So of course I did talk about storyline, but I basically talked about like POIs and their like their references to old chapters plus storyline. So yeah, so thank you guys for watching. So that's gonna be basically everything you need to know about the season 6's like references and backstories to POIs and landmarks. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching, and bye.